Hey, Get Brocked here. Welcome to another ship showcase. Today we're going to be looking at the CDF Aventine Destroyer, or Taidyr's Aventine Destroyer, made by VME. It's VME, right?
Yep.
VME. Okay. Made by VME. If you're new here, this is part of my... These ships are showcased in my series, Get Brocked, Outlands, Space Engineers, or some order of that. Each faction is a bunch of individuals that just partake, handle encounters, and we stitch that all together to create a nice big story. This ship in particular is the CDF Aventine, and it is by far the workhorse of the CDF. This thing is everywhere, and it is certainly fearsome and definitely punches above their weight class. I guess, before cutting you off, I'll send it back to you. Taidyr, what's up?
Yeah, as you said. Hi, everyone. Yeah, welcome to the CDF Aventine Class Destroyer. And if you've seen any episode where the CDF appeared so far, you have seen this ship, absolutely, multiple times at least. Yeah, CDF Aventine Class, workhorse of the faction, and built with two things in mind. Since the CDF is completely a destroyer-based faction, okay, we have frigates as well, but as we know by now, not actually the best choice in terms of combat. So the Aventine was made to pull a lot. Has punched above its weight class, had the opportunity to force the riders to multiple cycles of redesigning their whole fleet, I think.
Yep. So I guess a little backstory real quick to interrupt you. We did a bunch of testing before the series started to make sure things made sense and we weren't going to have a very short series. And the CDF gave the early ridership iterations a lot of run for their money, as in this ship was killing cruisers.
To be fair for the riders, they didn't actually design bad ships in comparison to this one, but they didn't went all out on the capabilities they have in terms of weapons, armor placement, and everything. And when we rolled in with the Aventines, they didn't stand any chance, but they took the opportunity to do some major redesigning. Had some new ships coming in, and now we have very, very awesome battles on the server.
Mm-hmm.
And many more to follow. So, next thing for the CDF, as this is the workers of the faction, it was also made to be very, very easy to use. So, new players come in. Oh, it's your first day of recording. Congrats, here's your Aventine. Go in and do shit.
There you go.
In my headcanon, the CDF or VME has designed the ship quite before the CDF actually became a thing. And this design was chosen to become one of the main fleet line ships. Had some changes in the past. You might have noticed a few by now in the series. And it gets constantly further developed. So this is not only the mostly deployed ships in the CDF faction, but also the one that has seen the most revisions, adjustments, and small changes without breaking the rules too much.
Yeah.
So instead of arming up the bridge like some of the rider ships do, I try to move things in a way that catch bullets before the glass does. Worked pretty good in the past. We had a few occasions where the bridge was actually blown out, but yeah, that's actually the point. We want battles to end. And if you manage to catch a foul pit in here, it's over anyway.
Shall we go inside?
Yeah, take a look. Like with the Sigmarius, this one is the display version with a full interior. We have a dedicated server version that was stripped out of pretty much all of the interior lights, most of the decorative blocks, and all the tanks as well. But this one, pretty much completely with interior. A few minor details I might finish up before this will land on the workshop. Maybe it is already in the workshop and you're watching this from the workshop page. We'll see. So, since we're here, let's go straight to the bridge. With these upper deck entries and the straight way to the bridge, I just wanted to assure we hop in on the server, get in the ship. Everyone, like I said, make it idiot-proof and convenient for new players. Just walk straight ahead and you find the bridge.
Yeah.
I hate getting lost on my ships.
Yeah. That happens a lot with some other ships. I just can't find the bridge.
Yep. And this is very much the main pilot seat. Few more seats on the side. On the server version, they will all be leveled up, so they are in line with the glass on the bridge. But here I wanted to make it a bit more prettier and, yeah, more convenient. Having all these seats stuffed in close proximity to each other doesn't seem to make much sense for me.
Yeah.
Aesthetically. This this transparent LCD will display instructions for the players on the server version. So everyone knows, adjust your weapon ranges, grab your oxygen bottles if you play without oxygen. It happens quite a few times now.
Yeah, people just suffocate mid-battle.
Yeah. Luckily, before the battle most of the time, we were ready to go and somebody said, oh, I'm about to die. No, this is early enough. And right underneath. Oh, where's the light gone? I might have forgotten to put a light in here, but this is the infirmary.
Yeah, keep it dark. You don't want to...
Yeah.
Nice and spooky.
Yeah, operate people in dark, why not?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they can't see their wounds, so they can't panic, right?
That's a good philosophy. You're not injured, I can see anything.
Yeah, you're fine.
So, cryopods, shower, the shitter.
All super important.
Yep. And the main reactor of the ship. Right in the center. I think the riders noticed by now, so no problem in telling.
Yeah.
This is where the hydrogen thruster was sitting on the Viminal that went boom during the fog hit.
Everyone died in here on that ship.
Yep. Everybody's gone.
More fuel for the CDF propaganda machine. Those people had families.
We got a hangar bay inside to hold a single dropship.
And using Ace's new hangar block mod, by the way. Harbinger
Exactly.
Ace.
Yep. It wouldn't have been possible to do this with the normal hangar doors, since they are much more bigger. I haven't tested it out, but I think we can get an Osprey in here.
Oh, yeah.
So
it'd be a tight fit,
if Eternity Crew ever plans to board one of these things, it will look nice at least.
Yeah.
This is one of the areas I left intact on the server version as well as the bridge. So some sections that might appear in a cinematic shot will still be visible.
Cool.
And also another airlock to the outside.
Because even...
Oh yeah, sorry.
Getting lost on your own ship.
So even though the atmospheric thrusters are basically a way to extend the armor, it can still land on every vanilla planet.
Should we show the Viminal? Even though this is a video about the Aventine, the Viminal's kind of an offshoot, I would say. Is that?
Sure. I mean, we talked a lot of about the Viminal now, so why not show her?
Yeah.
This is the Viminal Destroyer. This is... this was a pain in the ass to build, because I literally did this in about 1 day, or 2 evenings. Since we had a lot of battles, test battles before the actual series started, and we had some scripted battles, we actually had already exposed all our designs to the writers before we actually had a chance to get into the non-scripted PvP part. And while the writers deployed a lot of new destroyers, we were still running around with the Sigmarius and the Aventine Class Destroyer. And I thought, yeah, we definitely need another ship to cover some weaknesses that were left. The Aventine is a general purpose destroyer. You can put it into every scenario. But if you need a hard hitter on close, and as we learned by accident, also somewhat of an artillery device that can just mess with battleships, you deploy a Viminal.
Yep. I call this this is a missile destroyer in our metric system.
Yep. Missile destroyer is the right term, or rocket destroyer, since these missiles are not guided in any way.
Yeah, but nothing is guided since we don't use weapon core, so we just use missile destroyer.
Cool. Yeah, definitely missile destroyer. We can take a peek inside, but since it was finished very quickly, this is not completed at all. So it's just an empty hallway. You have a
looks
door
like a
down
rider
there.
ship.
Yeah, that leads into the guts. And this is basically an example of how our server versions look like.
Yeah.
The bridge is a bit prettier in here. There's still the old display with the instructions.
Yep.
And this part is actually copied from the Aventine. The whole ship is basically an Aventine cut in half, ripped out of all the unnecessary parts. And here's the bridge.
Cool. Yeah, this it's kind of cool how the CDF have had to adapt their strategies. You'll see this in the series, but the destroyers initially could probably go toe to toe with the original Rider vessels, but as the series goes on, although we haven't really seen a destroyer versus destroyer yet, it's mainly been destroyer versus cruiser or destroyer versus battleship cruiser. But how you guys adapted your strategy to go from brawling to a little bit of brawling, but a lot of like long range shooting to mitigate the rider's strength.
What's special about the Vimino as well is that it's mostly psychological warfare. If you take a look at the outside of this vessel now, you might notice all these turrets and the missile launchers in the front are set up to be able to fire straight ahead. So it can technically... So these missiles are super unprecise, but it's good enough to hit ships like the Ravager and to just throw away every ship that crosses its path.
Maybe episode 4.
Okay, then we just leave it there and they get a peek.
Yeah. All right, you wanna any last words? Any shout outs to anyone?
Oh, shout outs a lot actually. Shout out to Papo too. You've maybe have seen some of his ships on the workshop. He has been on multiple YouTube series on Captain Jack's thing. Yeah. Colony Wars, designed the drone ships. I had very nice chats with him in the past. Learned a lot from his ships about PvP ship design, and if you want to build something not similar to this, but good PvP ships, that's the first address you should check out. Also, Dr. Bougie, Serge, K. Matlock, and JD Hawks. Everyone who basically designed the key ships in this style, I took as a template, learned from them, and this is what came out. Shout out, of course, to the riders as well for being such cool sports in the fight.
Good targets.
Good targets. No, we have a blast. So even though there's a lot of ship talk on the series, we get along very well, and always exciting for the next episode. And of course, big shout out as well to my CDF boys for not breaking so many Aventines yet. Not so good with the Sigmarius, but yeah. You guys are the best, awesome pilots. Lack of discipline in comms maybe sometimes, but...
Gotta start somewhere, yeah.
Gotta start somewhere. We're on a good way. I'm not sure how we're rolling at this stage of the series when this video drops. But so far, I'm very happy. And I'm happy to see that the ships do their part. And they're taking off well in the series and in the faction.
Alright, cool. I will wrap it there. That's a cut. If you're interested in joining the Outlands series, head on over to Discord. We'll get you sorted. You can join a faction, assist building ships, or occasionally just jump in and help out with being cannon fodder. The world is your oyster. Alright, let's get Brock for you. I'll see you around.